Yo, we here. It's popping. We here with RKTRealestate.com in the building. So today's show, we talking about don't go broke giving. Okay, so stop giving things you can't afford. So he's saying these guys got to stop tricking on these women. Is what's going on?
That's a part of it too.
Yeah. What's the deal?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's to tell you the truth, Ms. Lucari, that is part of it too, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the gift giving season, but people are going broke giving gifts.
That's real shit.
It don't make no sense, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I get it. It's Thanksgiving, but everybody don't need to go to grocery stores, spend $600 for 8 guests and waste all this food.
Right.
A lot of people these days right now, they get carried away with the holiday season. Christmas time is around the corner, trying to overindulge in gifts, whether it's for kids, loved ones, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever the case is. You know, you only got $200 in the account, but you maxing it out and spending $189 for them AirPods or whatever you're trying to get.
Right.
You know, it's really where a message is like, people got to slow down, man. People got to slow down, man. I mean, the world is struggling. America's struggling. The things going on in Israel is affecting everything. Everybody got to watch their pockets and stop overextending themselves. It's not healthy for your pockets. It's not healthy for your mental.
That's what's up. So, Kelly, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think what it is too is that it's marketing, right? It's a lot of marketing, but it's been marketing from day one. So even to kind of stop these things, it's a little harder said than done. Because think about it, like when we were all young, right? We were excited for the holidays. Why? Because we knew that whether it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, we were either we're gonna either eat a lot of food or we're gonna get a lot of gifts.
Right.
Now, as adults, we're the ones who's giving because we understand the value of the holidays. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that it's more about people have to start to train themselves to not hold as much value to the holidays as what we're accustomed to. Because I think that's the issue. The problem is from day one, like I said, when we're thinking about holidays, it's still a business. Why? Because you're always going to be spending. Businesses are going to make money because, like Rashidi said, the supermarket. Everybody, as we're talking right now, the supermarkets are flooded right now. It's packed. Like every grocery line store is packed right now because people are, prepping for Thanksgiving. Right. And just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with preparing for these holidays. But a lot of times, like Rashidi said, we overextend ourselves and then we go broke. And then we can't even bring the new year in with any money because we spent everything on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right.
Most businesses, they actually take a fall. They tank a little bit during the holidays because they know that nobody's really doing business during this time of the year because everybody's spending it on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I think it's just like I said, it's been marketed from day one. It's something that we've been conditioned to do, and we have to try to kind of recondition how we look at things and process things and how we prioritize our spending habits. And we do that. One, calling RKT Real Estate and Finance, if we can help you with that process. You know what I'm saying? And then two, just monitor and just be conscious of what you're spending past the holidays. It's not just about the holidays because the holidays, they come and go. It's more about what you do throughout the course of the year. Because at the end of the year, you're going to get to the holidays anyway. So, and the problem is most people are not conscious of what they're doing throughout the course of the year. And then when it gets to the end of the year, they're now just like, too casual with their money versus being frugal with it. So these, as a consequence, these things happen. They spend too much.
Real shit. And so do you think that something is going on with the economy to where it's gotten worse as far as people being able to afford to give gifts and do a whole bunch of shit? Because I remember back in the day when we was young, I remember like the adults in our family, they buy gifts for everybody. Like everybody's buying gifts. The trees will be packed with gifts, So is it something where now it's gotten worse? Because I feel like in the past year or two, in a few years, I just haven't seen the same energy being put behind, you know, the holidays and buying gifts and doing all that other extra shit. Now it's on some, you buy one gift for one person and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so do you think has something changed or no? Like, what's the situation?
I mean, in my take of it, things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, Mr. Lucario, people don't buy a whole bunch of people gifts at this point. Essentially what happens now is they just buy more expensive gifts, just the one or two people that they buy it for. So instead of buying 5 gift cards for $10, they buying somebody a $200 gift now. I think that's where you see the real shift these days.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And so, you know, I think what happens too is now people still want to, you know, get motherfuckers gifts and shit. Like they still want to do that shit. People still want to receive gifts. But I think what happens is because I feel like, and I've seen that, like people don't have the same type of money, or, you know, the way that things aren't how they used to be. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be the same type of like vibe and energy. I think like maybe, I don't know, because maybe kids still get it. Like, you know, if you have like a young kid, daughter, son, or whatever, they might still get a good amount of something because they're still kids. But I feel like it's just different now for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh no, 100%. I think a few things. One, there's just more people on the earth, especially in America, than there was when we were kids. Believe it or not.
Right.
That's number one. So, and then two, the unity that our family has or had, right, during those times are different than now. Everybody is this independent person, right? So as a collective, as a family, we were working together to accomplish these goals as far as the holidays. Mm-hmm. Now everyone is so divided. It's like it's harder to accomplish these goals when everyone is quote unquote for themselves.
Right.
So that's a huge thing. And then on top of that, inflation doesn't make it any better. So the cost of living keeps going up versus the cost of living back in the days. And if you think of the average income 20, 30 years ago, it hasn't increased. It only increased 25%. So it went from making 50K to only 70K in the past 30 years. So, but the cost of homes, the cost of just products that you can get at a grocery store went up 200, 300%. So then the purchasing power now has decreased because it's harder for people to get things and harder for people to sustain things because of the cost of living now versus 30 years ago. And I think that's huge. If you think about, when we were talking about the grocery store, right? You can go to the grocery store 20, 30 years ago and you can walk out with a shopping cart full of groceries for $200 to $300. That's maybe about 10, 15 bags, 20 bags with the groceries. Buy that in 2023, you're leaving with 3 or 4 bags, if you're lucky, for $200.
Right.
I seen there was a meme with Boosie, right? He was talking about they was like, go shopping and ringing up the items, and it's already $100, and they haven't even rang up the meat yet. Pause. Right? They haven't even rang up the meat yet. And then he's like, "Come on, dog. Come on, man." Because it's like it's so expensive. Right? So then I think ultimately, one, the unity is not there with families. So the power in numbers as far as purchasing has decreased, and two, inflation has played a tremendous factor in the purchasing power today and what we could actually afford to get for our families. And that's why it was a huge difference from then until now. Even something as simple as watching children, right? No one watches children for free anymore.
Right.
That's a lost, genuine moral that most people did back in our day when we were. So in other words, our aunts used to watch us for free. Our grandmother watched us for free because they knew that they were watching us, one, because the love and respect that they had for the siblings or the daughter, whoever it is.
Right.
And two, they know that the parent was out working, doing what they had to do.
Right.
So, but now versus before, you can't watch a child for free.
Exactly.
The babysitter is the grandmother.
Exactly.
You have to pay them. The babysitter is the aunt. You got to pay her. These are the things, these numbers add up. When you get what I'm saying? So that's the difference from then until now, as far as like, in numbers, so that's how it is. It's just totally different. And so many different levels.
That's wild. That's interesting. You know what I'm saying? How the time changes and how that affects the economy, which affects how the holidays and all these things occur. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I remember when I was young, I remember those days of Christmas where you look under the tree, it'd be like 5-6 presents for you. And it's already, and it ain't even Christmas yet. You still got a few more days, and then somebody gonna add another present. And it's like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit was.
Don't even count the late gifts. Those are just the gifts prior to or during Christmas. You still got the latecomers who still gonna make sure that you get a gift either the next day or like 2 days after Christmas. You still getting gifts. Right. You get what I'm saying? Yes, it's completely changed. And I think that's why, to kind of bring it back full circle, it's important for people to prepare for the holidays, because the truth is the holidays ain't going nowhere. The 12 months ain't go. It's here. The 12 months it's a continuous cycle. So it's the best thing to prepare for these times. And how do you do that is by monitoring your spending and knowing how to budget correctly. And like I said, RKT Real Estate and Finance, and we can help you with that. It's not just about me and Rashidi. Yes, do we get a gain from it, and we get the pleasure of speaking with other individuals and helping them out? Yes, but our main goal is to make sure that most people are in a better position financially, and to whatever degree that is for that specific family and that specific person. But that only happens if you start somewhere. And that starting somewhere is booking a free consultation, so we can help you get in a better position financially during the time of Thanksgiving or any holidays. You can actually have more money to do more with it during these holidays, because, and especially, let's be real here, as men, right? We want to make sure we take care of our family. We want to make sure we take care of our household. If we don't make sure that the wife and the kids are good on some level, we feel like we didn't do our job.
Right.
So how do we make sure that happens? And the truth is, you may have to tell your wife no right now. You can't get this right now. You may have to tell the kids, no, I'm not getting you that game right now, because you know that what you're doing it has a greater purpose. It serves a better purpose later on down the line. So it may be February or March, and you may have to tell them no, just so that they can have a better Thanksgiving and a better Christmas. Right. And a lot of times we're so used to telling people yes all the time just for that temporary satisfaction, versus telling them no for that late satisfaction for the real goal in the long run. And that's a problem too.
So N said, is it appropriate to gift a life insurance?
Is it appropriate to gift a life insurance?
Yeah. I guess he said get someone life insurance as a gift.
Honestly, in my opinion, that is one of the best gifts that you could ever give someone. 1,000%. To ends. Yes, that's definitely a gift that you can give someone. It's a little more detailed than that, but that is great. Yes, it is.
And so what's your thoughts on Black Friday though? Because so should people try to get their gifts and take advantage of the deals on Black Friday, or does that not make a difference? Like, do you think that's something that could make a difference to like try to get a bunch of gifts or try to get the things that you need, or is that going to just make people spend more, or what? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, a Black Friday thing is just all about what makes sense. The problem with Black Friday is, to Kenny's point, is that over marketing. That's your strategy to market to you everything. So you as a consumer, you see all the things that you can't get on a normal budget, and you try to buy it all on Black Friday. Right. And that's where the problem is. So it's nothing wrong with focusing on Black Friday. Listen, I won this TV. I waited all year for Black Friday. That makes sense. But what don't make sense is I want the TV, I want the couch, I want the cell phone, I want this. And that's what people do and get carried. It's Black Friday, I gotta get all the sales. But truth is, that's just a lazy mentality, because the reality situation is that it sells all year round in all these places. But people just look for Black Friday because it's just easy to be like, okay, everything's on sale. It's Black Friday. It's the biggest sale of the year. But no, reality is there's massive sales all the time, and actually bigger sales than Black Friday. But the truth is, Black Friday is just heavily marketed in the industry and in America. So it's like Black Friday, you got to go out. Black Friday and Cyber Monday, shop only then. But the reality is that no, if you plan it out and just lay maybe 1 or 2 things max, then you're good. But it's 3, 4, 5, 6 things, buying the kids their sneakers, buying yourself somebody, buying your uncle somebody. That's when it gets carried away and like, stop it now. You know, you overdraft accounts, or you're like, all right, I'll put it all on this check, and then next thing you know, and something pops up you can't afford to pay for it because you spend all your money on Black Friday. Stuff like that throws you off and messes you up.
Correct. And to Rashidi's point, just the proper planning. Because if you have a budget for the holidays from Thanksgiving all the way till New Year's Day, and you say, okay, I'm spending X amount on Thanksgiving, I'm spending X amount on Christmas gifts, and I'm spending X amount on New Year's. So now during Black Friday, you can take advantage of that because you know they're going to be sales. So as long as those sales fit within that budget that you were planning on spending for that time, nothing wrong with that. But most people are not planning in detail. Okay, I'm going to spend this X amount for Christmas shopping. They just, they'll literally just like, it's almost like going to the store. Oh yeah, could you pick me up? Could you pick me up some milk and some eggs? And then you come back with like 3 bags worth of food.
Right.
Wait a minute. You were supposed to just go to the store for milk and eggs. And the problem is most people do that. They plan on going to the store for 2 items, but coming back with 10, 15 items.
Right.
There's no difference when they go shopping on Black Friday. They plan on buying 2 things, but because the deal is so good, they just couldn't resist. And spend an extra $200, $300, maybe $400. And, it happens. And because, like Rashidi said, marketing at its finest,
Man, I'm up here looking for the Black Friday sales on the PlayStation and shit. And I'm still seeing the same $500. I'm like, come on, man. They supposed to down.
It's still in high demand, so that ain't gonna go down for a while.
That's crazy.
PlayStation, it's still in high demand, so
that's crazy. Because I see one for like $400, but I want that shit to be $39.95.
Like that Bill Dash, whatever that joint be like, I got my joint for $2. I'm like, what man?
So that's the thing. So like, I think the thing is, I feel like there's this pressure around this time of year because it's like the holidays, people traveling, they want to buy things, they want to go places, you know what I'm saying? And it's this extravagant shit. And that's what causes people to overspend and do all that other shit. So this is how does one collect their money from a friend who you invested in a business with, but you haven't seen or gotten any positive results from? Is there a particular way of doing that or no guarantees? So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I mean, AJD, you're answering your own question. So the purpose of an investment is you invest. There's risk in losing. Right. So if this person you invested in business wise and they didn't get any positive results, and they're not giving you the results or executing a game plan, give it up. Whenever you invest, you got to be comfortable with potentially losing that money. You don't want to invest money that you're not comfortable losing or you can't recover from. So that's the big thing. But yeah, if you invested with your partner, whatever it is, and he gave you good ideas and sounded great and it didn't work out, then listen, it wasn't necessarily a bad investment, but it just didn't work out. It just makes sense to not reinvest in them going forward unless they have a solid plan and you see some residuals. Right. Let it go. If you can't afford to lose it, don't give it.
Absolutely. And I think also it's good to get some knowledge on what you're investing into. Like, know what you're invested in. You don't have to know all the answers, but you got to know a good amount to even, say to yourself, okay, this is something good that I want to invest in. And like Rashidi said, be able to accept the loss because it is a risk at the end of the day.
Real shit. And so I think, that, it's okay to spend, on the holidays and do a lot of other stuff. But I think it, like you're saying, it has to be practical. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the idea of wanting to do it and going overboard or being in the spirit and in the feelings of it. But then at the same time, at the end of all of it, when you don't spend all that money, you're like, shit, like I went over budget. I went into my savings or I use this credit card, and is this like then it becomes like a thing once January hits. You're like, fuck, like I spent all this fucking money, you know what I'm saying? And you know, just for that holiday feeling and shit. Because to me, I feel like the older I get, the less holiday it feels. But I'm wondering, is that because of the economy? Because like I said, years ago when I was younger, it just seemed more plentiful. You know what I'm saying? And now it just seemed like everybody's kind of like looking at everybody like, you know, I hope you ain't expecting no gifts from me because I ain't got no fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel like it is now. It's like, yo, like it's almost like Christmas and shit like that, and all this holiday stuff is almost like gonna become a thing of the past. If that's you know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree. I think it is trending that way. I mean, you look at the situation, like you said before, when we were all kids, we saw 5-6 gifts under the tree. And, you know, people always say there's the thought that count, but it was part of the thought that counted.
Right.
Normally back then you got 5 gifts. It was real one major gifts.
Right.
Then it was 4 lollygag gifts. You know what I mean? But it was still affordable. You know what I mean? Like it was still reasonably priced. Like you got that one semi-pricey gift, like, you know what I mean? That little remote control toy car, whatever case is, for like $40 back in the day. And then you got like maybe like $10, $12 gifts from random people. And so you really enjoy the Christmas. It's like, oh, I got what I really wanted. And all this other random stuff. You know what I mean? But now it's just like there's no more
like little fillers.
Yeah, exactly.
Under the tree. Yeah.
But now it's just kind of like, man, the way these things cost right now, like, and it's a generation where people don't care about nothing. They take everything for granted. Like it's a whole different ball game. Like you give somebody a $200 gift, a kid a $200. Oh, thanks. They might even say thanks these days. Like it's like, what? This ain't worth it. I spent $200 that cost you 2 shifts. And this little person ain't even saying thanks. Like, come on. Now, so it is trending that way, unfortunately. It is
and just to kind of add to that, I think I think getting older, you get wiser and you realize that the Christmas and the holiday spirit in general, how it's perceived for you as you get older is just different.
Right.
Because when you're younger, you're the one that's going to get, right? You're the one that's going to receive. When you're older, you're the one that's giving.
Exactly.
Right? So how you really perceive it is completely different. So does it still hold value? Yes, but not as much value because one, like I said, we're the adults now. So us giving, it's like, oh man, I gotta do this, I gotta give that, I gotta give that. So, but I think even deeper, I think just because the times are different too. Right. And it meshes. So to sum it up, it's really both. It's us getting older and the times are different. So that's the reason why that feeling is that way. I feel that way too. It's almost like, okay, Thanksgiving is literally like tomorrow. Right. And I'm like, okay. Like
exactly. It doesn't have to feel.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Because I'm like, it's different. It's like I feel like even, for example, because the internet is a thing now and because social media and different things like that, I feel like even the aspect of, families getting together isn't as strong as it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and it's like, well, I'll catch you on Facebook. You feel me? So like, I really gotta see you. I'm gonna just chill where I'm at, and I'll highlight you on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point because the only form of contact back in the day was the phone. Right. So you had to actually go see the family because that's the only obviously now it's like FaceTime, so you can actually connect with people virtually. Right. But the point is that back in the day there wasn't that, so the value of going to meet with the family was a lot higher.
Exactly.
It was anticipated. You were looking forward to doing that. Right. And honestly, even now, I look at the holidays as just leverage to just get people together.
Right. Exactly.
So whatever the outcome is, as long as we're all together doing something, hanging out, having a good time, doesn't even matter what day it is. Right. But one thing I would say though is that when it comes to social media, and it's a catch-22 because you can see people virtually, it's not a big thing to meet up with them physically, right? But then at the same time, it creates more times to, or the opportunities to meet up with somebody, because
Right.
there's always something going on. You always gonna see something going on, to an event happening, to where, okay, that's just an excuse or an idea or a reason to go out, because this event is happening, that
Right.
event is happening. The marketing is at an all-time high, so then there's always something happening. So that as a result, people are always going out and meeting up to do something. So I think that's an upside to it. It says, he says, N says, what is the appropriate amount of money to give someone without coming off as too cheap? What y'all think about that?
I mean, yeah, it just depends, though. I mean, I don't really care about coming off too cheap, really. You know what I'm saying? Because like Rashidi's saying, it's the thought that counts. So fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you should be glad I'm giving you anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think that's important too, because and just as adults now, I think anything that's given is like, okay, that's dope.
Right.
I can get a $10 scarf.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care, because this is a scarf that I didn't have.
Right.
So I honestly, I don't think there's a gift that's too cheap. If somebody feels that the gift is cheap, then you just gave that gift to the wrong person. Honestly,
right. Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel.
Right. Real talk. So any other thoughts on this? Things you want to say before we wrap it up and get up out of here? You know what I'm saying? Anything's coming up for the holidays for RKT? Any other you have any other events planned or coming up?
Yeah, so on this December 23rd, we are having a Christmas party. We're having a Christmas party. This one is actually going to be at our office in Queens, New York. That is 161-15 Rockaway Boulevard, Jamaica, Queens, right? And I'm gonna I'm gonna have, you don't have to register on the Eventbrite, nothing like that. Just give us a call, 336-749-0564, 336-749-0564. That's going to be on December 23rd. If you guys are in New York or close by in the tri-state area, definitely come out. We're gonna have some food, some drinks, and just have some fun, man. It's a Christmas party. And then lastly, on December 30th, we are having what we call a vision board party. Vision board party on December 30th. And it's going to be held at the same location at the office. And basically with this vision board party, it's you basically manifesting what you want for going into 2024.
Right.
So you have a poster, right? And for example, you would post something, whether it's, let's say if you were trying to get a new home, you're trying to get a home. So you post a house. If you're thinking about getting a new car next year, you put a car in there. If you want to step your drip up and you want to get some new drip, put some clothes on there. Whatever it is that you want for the next year, put on that vision board, because the first thing of obtaining something is seeing the vision. So we're having a vision board party December 30th. We would love everyone to come out for that. So that's the next 2 up and coming events.
Yeah. All right. So guys, man, make sure you guys go to rktrealestate.com. Hit up Kaylee and Rashidi. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we out of here. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. We out.